So I'm here in one of my absolute favorite places on the planet, on the Columbia River near White Salmon, Washington. And I'm having fun with my kids and kind of playing around with this brand new little toy. A lot of people in my workshops have talked about wanting a little bit lighter weight fluid head, you know, not carrying quite as heavy a system. And I get a lot of emails from people looking for a little bit more affordable fluid head solution. And so I've got this little Benro system I've been recommending to people, and it's working pretty great. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to talk about the merits of some different tripods in this video and offer some new solutions for people wanting to get into the fluid head for less money and a much lighter weight. This whole system, fluid head, leveling adapter, and legs, weighs less than 5 pounds and costs 350 bucks. This is Approaching the Scene. I'm Hudson Henry. I'm a Portland, Oregon photographer, and this video series is a conversation about photography, all things photographic and filmic, any visual storytelling. So time-lapse video, photography, and I'm putting them out every Thursday. I really want it to be a series of conversations about photography, about creating better images, editing better images in the studio, and I'd love for you to join the conversation. You can send me a question to questions@hudsonhenry.com. You can also log on to the website at www.hudsonhenry.com/ATS. And I'm going to jump back to the studio and talk about some of the relative merits of some of these different systems, from lighter weight to heavier, from cheaper to more expensive, and really showcase this cool lightweight little unit, which I can see myself taking on ski mountaineering trips in places where weight really matters. All right, so back here in the studio, wow, taking a look at that footage from the White Salmon Sandbar, I see I really need to clean the sensor on my little A6500 that I was using to record that field section. So I think if you hang in, next Approaching the Scene, I'm probably gonna do a little short video on simple sensor cleaning, especially important for mirrorless cameras. So sorry about all the sensor dust in that intro part. I'll get that fixed for the next one. So, you know, here in the studio, I'm going to talk a little bit about this ultralight Benro affordable fluid head system. And then I'm going to take a question that involves step-up rings and filtration and circular filters. So hang in there on that question. I got one from Jim that's a really good one. So in the meantime, I want to talk just a little bit about this little guy. You know, as I said, in numerous workshops that I've taught, I get people using these bigger fluid head systems and they fall in love, they want it for sure. And yet I've had a couple of people, you know, either they're a little bit older, there's a disability, there's some reason they travel to, you know, really remote spots where weight is a huge issue, and they just want something a little lighter. Other people that I've gotten numerous questions from ask, you know, could we find something a little bit more affordable? And so I went out on the hunt and basically came up with this. I had a student in my Charleston, South Carolina workshop last year that had a pretty nice Benro fluid head system. It was a little bigger, a little heavier than the one I'm using, but I thought it was really nice, well laid out, well built. And then I stumbled upon this little carbon fiber leg fluid head with a leveler system. It's got a center column. That's not typically my favorite. I know a lot of you have probably heard me rail against center columns in the past with tripods, but this system's light. You know, before putting this clamp on it, it's just under 5 pounds. With the clamp, it's just barely over 5 pounds. I put it on the scale. It gets just about as tall. You know, this is my tried and true favorite of favorite Gitzo, you know, monster $1,000 pair of legs with the bowl and the Manfrotto head. This is the Enduro set of legs that I often link and steer people towards. Gets right up to eye level. It's got that bowl that makes leveling any kind of fluid head, including my favorite, the Manfrotto 500 AH, really nice and simple. This one, it has nice clicking leg locks. You can extend it. They're carbon fiber. Finish is quite nice on them. And again, 350 bucks, 5 pounds, everything you need except that Arca clamp, which is only like $29, I think. And when you set this guy up, lo and behold, just almost the same height without raising the center column as my favorite Enduro. So, you know, you raise the center column, it actually goes up to between the two of their heights. Now, Anybody that listens to me regularly about tripods knows raising the center column loses a lot of stability. Your stability is really focused on the intersection of these legs when you're using a head. Probably not such a big deal on the pavement if you don't have high winds. This thing does come with a hook where you can hang your camera bag from it, which could create some more stability. I'm a huge fan of these hammocks, as everyone knows, these little tripod hammocks. And everything shown here is in my Approaching the Scene links, including this one, and in the text in the description on YouTube about this system, I'll put the links to this guy. There's an aluminum version that's a pound heavier, and Amazon has both. B&H only has the aluminum version, so I would really steer you towards Amazon on this. It's $350, 5 pounds again. It doesn't level the same way, so the way that I tend to prefer is with the bowl, where you just open that lever from below. This version has a built-in leveling adapter, which is something that I link people using these. There are leveling adapters that go between a traditional tripod center column or the mount on a traditional tripod and the head. This Benro system comes with one sort of integrated. You just loosen this knob and you get quite a range of motion here to just get nice and level. And there's a nice big bubble level that sticks right out on the side. It's easy to see. It's actually easier to see than the Manfrotto system. And then it's the same basic system. You have a tilt adjustment, you have a pan adjustment. Nothing you can do will take it out of level. It's really easy to set up on if you put that Arca Swiss clamp on that I recommend. Little $30 clamp, boom, you're on. If you use an L bracket on your camera, it's easy to get vertical, just like that. You can lock your pan and only tilt. You can lock your tilt and only pan. Everything stays nice and level. Has all the benefits of the other fluid heads that I recommend, including the ability to get back and get leveled so that it doesn't flop. Everything basically that I've talked about and all the reasons why I like fluid heads over ball heads are included in this little nice, lightweight, easy to use package. So it also, just in case you wondered, comes with a really nice custom padded case. So pretty darn good deal. I like it a lot. Again, if you haven't watched my previous videos, it's as easy as loosening this thing. You pull off these little plates and you just mount this Arca Swiss clamp to the plate that comes with it that slides fore and aft on the top. Easy peasy. Other nice thing is if you do have one of these other fluid head systems that has a Manfrotto plate, the plates are interchangeable. So you can switch and mix and match to your heart's content. It works just like any other of the mainstream fluid head plates with the Manfrotto system. So I think it's pretty cool. I can see myself carrying this on some international trips as a second tripod instead of this much heavier version. And I could see it taking it as my solo tripod on big backpacking trips, ski mountaineering trips, alpine trips, places where weight really matters. It seems like a nice, stable solution that's tall enough, sturdy enough, and if I have any problems with it, I'll report back to you, but it seems pretty darn well made. Most of the parts are cast. There's a little bit of plasticky stuff kind of in the middle, but it's protected. It would be tough for something to get in there and hit it. Everything else seems nice and made out of metal and sturdy. So, I'm looking forward to years of good use out of it. I'll let you know if anything changes. Now, I had a question from Jim that I alluded to earlier about whether it's a good idea to use step-up rings with a circular polarizer or not. And I'm going to say absolutely yes. So here's the way I look at it. I use these Hoya HD3 UV filters to protect all of my lenses basically all the time. And I buy those in whatever size my lens is and leave them on the lens, and I haven't found any deleterious effects using them, pointing them straight into the sun. As long as you keep them clean, I don't see any problems with them, just like the front element of your lens, and they're really protective and keep me from bashing up and damaging the front element of my lens. Those are the only ones that I buy for each and every lens. So I like to keep those on my lens, particularly if I'm working in blowing sand or around salt water and wind, things that can really mess up the coatings and the front element of your lens. When, however, I'm using my really expensive, really, really nice HD3 polarizer from Hoya, just the disclaimer, I'm a Hoya ambassador, not because they've paid me big bucks to be a Hoya ambassador. I'm a Hoya ambassador because I really like their products. They sort of pitched me on trying out some of their products and testing them for them, and I took them on a trip to Europe back in, I don't know, it was before my baby Pike was born, so maybe 2015, and I absolutely fell in love with them. They're just a really high quality product. So what I do is I buy all of my filters in an 82 millimeter thread. I have one lens, I have a Tokina 11-20 that I like on the DX format on my D500, the crop sensor format, and it has an 82 millimeter filter thread. So I switched up to all my filters being 82 millimeters, my ND filters and my polarizers. And I discovered in the process that I have less vignetting on my 77 millimeter lenses that way by using a step-up ring. So, you know, here is an old D810. If you wonder why I'm not using the D850, it's because I'm filming this with the D850. I love the video out of my D850. And I've got my Nikon 20 millimeter 1.8, which is a 77 millimeter filter thread. And I have a Hoya HD3 UV filter on it. I'm going to just whip that off. I really recommend taking the UV filter off. Don't stack these filters unnecessarily because that can lead to vignetting. And I've got a couple of my commonly used step-up rings here. I have 58-82 and I have 77-82. I don't think you should use more than one if you can avoid it. You know, sometimes if you're going from a really small size like 43 for a little tiny kit lens or something, it's fine. You might get from 43 to 58 and then 58 to 82 or 77, whichever size you're using. But, you know, that's not going to create a problem going from such a small size to a big. But if you're moving, you know, anywhere in the larger sizes, don't buy those kits that have, you know, 2 millimeter steps and you go out like a cone. You're going to wind up going so far out from your lens that you are going to create vignetting problems, particularly with a wide angle. I'd recommend just using one of these little step-up rings. And again, all the stuff I'm talking about is in the ATS links. There's a link to that, Approaching the Scene links on the YouTube text. So just jump there, take a look. Or you can go to my webpage at www.hudsonhenry.com/ATS and you'll find those links to those there too. So here I've gone from 77 to 82. And then I actually use these little Manfrotto zoom filter rings. They're magnetic. This is a filter adapter, a lens adapter. I'll screw that on. This is an 82 millimeter zoom magnetic lens adapter. And then I have this bag with all of my, my high-end polarizing and ND filters. So I've got a 4, a 6, and a 10 stop Hoya Solus ND filter in here and an HD3 circular polarizer, all in 82 millimeters. And all I want to do when I switch is just go click and it's on there. And as I take a look at the live view on the back, I have 0 vignetting as I look into the lights. There's no vignetting in the corners on 20 millimeters stepping up to 82. So my recommendation is buy your good filters that you use interchangeably with all your lenses, your ND filters and your circular polarizers in a big filter size. I really recommend 82 because you never know. You might think that 77 or 72 or 68 is the biggest lens you're ever going to have, and then next year they're going to come out with some lens that's just amazing for your system that's got an 82 millimeter filter thread. And you know, trust me, you'll be sad because you'll have to sell all your stuff at a loss, get that bigger set of filters and adapt up. And I guarantee that using this step-up system is going to actually help you avoid vignetting. And it may allow you to use the zoom system like I am. If I put a straight 77 zoom ring on this lens with a 77 filter, I have a feeling it might vignette. I'm not getting it by stepping up to 82. So that's my tip and the way that I use these filters all the time. I know a lot of people just keep these on their cameras. They'll buy a lens adapter for each lens from Zoom and use a magnetic filter or a magnetic lens cap. It's an option. For me, I just thread the things back off and stick my UV filter back on when I'm done using it. Not that big a deal. Put the cap on, put it in the bag. So that's it. I really, really think that for those of you looking for a lightweight budget option in a fluid head, this little Benro is a great way to go. There's a link in the text. There's links on my ATS links page that I've added in for that. All you need to get with it is this Hope Arca Swiss clamp, 30 bucks. Everything else comes with this for 350 bucks, and it's 5 pounds. Again, there's an aluminum version that's 6 pounds and $250. So even cheaper, same head, same leveler, just an aluminum set of legs and a little bit heavier. Really, really cool setup. And you know, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please click like, please click subscribe, share them with your friends. And if you have questions and want to join the conversation, don't hesitate to send a question to questions@hudsonhenry.com or log into the website at www.hudsonhenry.com/ATS. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.